Hello, me again, and I got 2 boxes in the mail that I can only imagine are puzzles because those are the only boxes that look like this. And I got an idea of what some of them are, but I can't remember what both of them were. So this will be a surprise to both of us. But I think I know what at least one of them is. Aha! Alright, so let's see what we got here. Taped up really, really well. Let me free up the fascial plane here. Okay, I'm going to completely destroy this box. So, okay. So let's see what we have here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what this is. I know what this is now. So, I'm very much into hybrid puzzles. And so there was something in my collection that was not exactly there. Get out of there. Okay. So this looks like a rhombic dodecahedron. Or I'm sorry, this looks like an octahedron. So let's go ahead and open this. Open this here. Very nicely wrapped. Okay. So alright, so you can see that this is a corner turner. This sort of turns over here. Corner turns here and here. So just these corners turn. And it's also a face turn. So it's well, it's a hybrid between the two. Now what's interesting is that this doesn't turn, but just this. So this sort of just turns at the tip. So anyway, it'll be that degree of interesting solve. So it's going to be a combination of something that promises to be a corner turning, face turning hybrid, and I'm going to have a lot of fun just looking at this. But to be honest with you, it's a little bit more of a limited corner turner than I thought. I thought this was going to turn as well. But anyway, let's see what we got next. Let's see what's in this bad boy over here. Okay. So this guy is packaged really well. It's a bigger puzzle, bigger cube. More to enjoy. Aha! Okay, so you can see we have ourselves a ghost. Loves to scramble. Okay, so it has a nice square shape, but what kind of a ghost is this? So you know that I've got a whole bunch of ghosts in my armamentarium. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're 5 layers deep here. So what is the rest of it? Well, let's line up our centers. Let's see. We can line up the centers here. Now, what are you? Oh, okay. We can line it up here, here, and here. So once we line it up, we see what the other layer is. Let's line up over here. Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're 3 layers in here. We're 5 layers down here, and 1, 2, 3, 4 layers here. So this is a 3 by 4 by 5 ghost puzzle, and I don't think I have one of these. Really, really well done. So I'm going to want to review my 3 by 4 by 5 puzzle solve strategy. But we're going to have to solve it in this position, which we can do layer by layer. So the 3 by 4 by 5 is something of a brick cuboid. It's non-shape-shifting, I believe. So yeah, it's not going to shape-shift, which means I'll have to isolate each layer. But anyway, really, really well done puzzle. I can see where some of the equivocation may happen. Don't want to scramble it quite yet. And this is by Raiden Shia, C-H-E-A, Raiden Shia. And top-notch work. I think I've got some other of his puzzles as well. So 3 by 4 by 5 ghost puzzle. I cannot wait to scramble this, solve this, and show you guys just the quality of his work. You can see these are made by extensions. Alright, there you have it. Some more to add to the collection. And let's get this back over here. Back here. What I like is I like the fact that even though it's a cuboid, it's a cube form. There you have it. New ones to my collection. More on these later. Thanks for watching. Hello, it's me, and I just got this circle Pyraminx Multicube. And the question that I've had from people is, well, what's the basic difference? So what's the difference between the circle crystal Pyraminx and the multi-crystal Pyraminx? So I thought it was a reasonable thing to look at, and I'll tell you that really they're pretty much the same puzzle with a couple of key differences. And the question is, if you had a choice, which one should you get, and which one is the most challenging, which one has the better movement, all that good stuff. Well, so I think at its heart, they both are a combination of the circle Pyraminx, the circle Megaminx, and also the crystal Pyraminx. Put these two together and you have these puzzles. But here's the key difference. I've already pointed out that in this puzzle you have all the components of a circle Pyraminx except for one, and that's these pieces over here. And this constitutes the actual center of a Pyraminx, of a Megaminx. So, so what that means is the normal center of a Megaminx is going to be right here. So there's a center, it's got 5 sides, you turn it, the center turns. The interesting thing about the circle Pyraminx, the circle Megaminx rather, is that when you turn this, we can't call this the center, it's all on this side here. And it turns out this piece, these pieces are the same, they're united because it's not the crazy version where some are stationary and some are not. So this actually is the center. So these pieces collectively, with its 5 components, are the 5 sides of the center. Okay, so I think we got that. So this puzzle doesn't have that. It's in here somewhere, but it's blocked, and it's blocked by this. So everything on the outside is the crystal Pyraminx, but on the inside is the edges. Now I've shown before that the edge, this edge is the same as these 2 pieces, which means that these 2 pieces are the same thing as the edge, but not this edge. This is the crystal Pyraminx edge. The real edge is hidden underneath. So basically when I showed the solve of this guy, is you solve these 2 as though they were this edge, which is these 2 as well. So the difference here is the inner pieces are very similar, except this centerpiece over here is not the same as this centerpiece. This represents its own piece. It's its own thing. So you don't see this in the circle Megaminx, nor do you see this in the crystal Pyraminx. It's something that emerges out of the circle crystal Pyraminx and sort of enhances the challenge in that way. But this piece here, when you turn it, and then when you bring it down, it doesn't separate from these pieces. So this does not separate from this. And what that means is, let's say this piece here obviously can separate from this piece over here. However, if I do that same move here, if I move this piece up, notice this piece never moved. It stayed the same. So this movement over here moves all of these pieces, including the center, including these edge pieces over here. In this case, that same move, as I turn here, does not turn these pieces. Only these 3, this turned all of them. And the reason that it does that is because these pieces represent the center, its own center. So when I move this up, it stays. This will only move with these pieces over here, and it's only going to move in this direction. So what that means is that these centers here, these central edge pieces, these edge center pieces, don't scramble any more than these pieces scramble. So when I turn this, these will never scramble. They'll never do anything aside from rotate. So no matter what I do, they're going to stay stationary and they're going to stay coordinated with each other. So that's really it. Basically, you have a true super cube or super Megaminx with this, in that these are the center pieces. These are not. These are its own edge pieces, but it's the center of a Megaminx. So turn this down. This stays here because this will only move along with this, this, and this. So what does that mean in terms of the solve? Well, I could go through a solve of it, but I think it's going to be somewhat repetitive because it's the same as this. The only difference is that as you're putting in edge pieces, so let's say you wanted to put these pieces here. So these 2 are still edges. And that edge from here, this is still the crystal Pyraminx edge. The real edge is underneath. So you're going to solve it the same way. You got to look at these 2 as the edges, just like you did with this. But now you've got to coordinate it with this centerpiece. So it does cause a little bit more of a challenge when you're placing edges. So the extra challenge of this piece is having to keep your perspective about you, because as I was putting it in layer by layer, I would put these guys in, and then as I was putting these edges in over here, or when I got to this point where I had to put this triad over here, I had to correlate this edge and this edge with each other. In this case, if I were to do the same thing, I'd have to correlate this edge and this edge with each other, but I'd also have to correlate it with the center piece. So that took a little bit more observation to do, but it's no different than you would do a circle Megaminx. But the simpler part of the solve is you don't have to worry about these pieces. Remember, toward the end, when everything was solved, I had to put all these pieces in and do a somewhat long algorithm to do that. But it was pretty fun, so I didn't really mind. So that's the main difference, is this one, because it's got its centers, it's a circle Megaminx. You just have to coordinate the edges, and it takes a little bit of skewing of your perspective to do that, but you don't have the the center pieces. So I'll let you decide which one you like. I'll tell you what my preference is. Of course, being a collector, I'm going to have both in there. In terms of the aesthetics, I like the way this looks better because it just looks more solid to me. Every piece is stickered, every piece does its own thing. I like the challenge of putting these extra pieces in, and the supercube aspect, although challenging, isn't exactly a deal breaker since I don't really have to worry about that with this. With this piece, you got all these blackened areas here, and you have to sort of peer closely to see the changes in color. So you have to skew your eyes a little bit with that, and maybe even have some lighting on it that can really enhance that. If they had a way of maybe stickering these areas to make it look more solid like this, then I might actually start to prefer this. And wouldn't it be nice if maybe they had a way of teasing this piece out from the center here, kind of make it the ultimate window multi-cube puzzle, where you had like an inner circle here, and those inner circles made you solve these while you were stickering those. But I recognize that would make the puzzle look very crowded and maybe a little bit ungainly. But that way you can get the center pieces here and the edge pieces. I would wonder if maybe this internal piece would separate from this piece, but I don't think that it would. So just because of how sparsely stickered the puzzle seems to be, this one is more satisfying to look at, more satisfying to visualize as I'm solving it. This one does give me the extra bit of a challenge. The movement itself is pretty good. But if there's any requests for solves of this one, but to those that are puzzled on that, just look at the solve of this. You just don't have to worry about these guys here. Or look at the tutorial on the circle Megaminx to figure out how to deal with these guys over here. Anyway, there you have it. I hope that was helpful in your decision as to what to get. From my standpoint, if I had a choice, I'd probably go for this puzzle for the reasons mentioned. This one does have that extra bit of a challenge, but still, to any collector, I would say a worthy addition that adds a little bit different kind of a strategy, different kind of experience than this puzzle. Anyway, thanks for watching.